This is Mr. Lila Bubba, and welcome to another installment of Pokemon Competitive Bios. This week's Pokemon is Gengar. Gengar, introduced in Generation 1, is a combination Ghost and Poison type. In this video, I will be giving letter grades to each aspect of Gengar and then giving it an overall grade for its usefulness at the end of the video. I will be taking a look at its stats, move pool, its abilities, its typing, the counters against it, and then giving it an overall grade. Beginning with Gengar's stats. The grade that I chose to give Gengar's stats was an A. If you look at Gengar's stats, it has a base 60 HP stat, it has 65 for an attack stat, a base 60 defense stat, a base 130 special attack stat, special defense is 75, and a speed stat of 110. The reason I chose to give Gengar an A for its stats is obviously due to its great speed and special attack, which are usually used for special sweeping. It has nearly perfect stats for that purpose. However, I didn't give it a stellar grade because its other stats, including its attack, are very low. It can't be used as a mix sweeper, however, it does have very good stats and is not to be taken lightly, despite the fact that it was not given an A+ for its stats. On to Gengar's move pool. I chose to give Gengar's move pool an A, once again the same as its stats. It gets same type attack bonus from both Shadow Ball and Sludge Wave, as well as even Sludge Bomb. It covers weaknesses with Dark Pulse and Focus Blast. Its move pool is not limited in the slightest. It has access to plenty of other moves that do massive damage from its great special attack stat, and that is why this Pokemon was given an A by me for its move pool. Abilities is probably the downfall of Gengar. It only has access to one, and that is Levitate. However, it is very helpful because it does get rid of a ground type weakness that it has due to being half poison type, and also of course grants it an extra immunity to ground types. Its ability is not great, but it's definitely usable, and it does help it in some way, and that is why I gave Gengar an ability grade of a B+. Gengar's typing, I gave an A-. As I said at the beginning of the video, it is a Ghost and Poison type. That gives it 3 immunities if you include Levitate. Those 3 immunities being Fighting, Normal, and Ground. However, it is super affected by 2 types that it also is super effective to. Those being Psychic and Ghost. It is weak to its own type, of course, being a Ghost type, but also being weak to Psychic while being a Ghost type is not very helpful when it is trying to have type advantage. These are the reasons that I chose to give Gengar's typing an A-. Not a bad grade, but definitely not the best grade it could have been. However, Gengar's typing is, I would say, very good. When it comes to checks and counters against Gengar, the grade I chose was an A-. The reason that I gave it an A- is because pursuit sets can really bother Gengar, and these are typically seen on Scizor and Weavile. Also, Starmie, Tornadus, and Jolteon, and other Pokemon that are naturally faster, can definitely take advantage of Gengar's frail defenses and easily KO it. All of these combinations being easy downfalls for Gengar. However, it still has a way to combat these problems. As you would see on Weavile, Focus Blast could easily take care of it, as long as it isn't outsped. So it wasn't given a bad grade in counters, however, it's not the best grade that it could have gotten. Now that I've looked at all of these aspects of Gengar, it's time to give it an overall grade. The grade I chose to give Gengar was an A. It has great stats and a very diverse move pool. Its ability is actually helpful. It's not great, but it is helpful, giving it an extra immunity. It also has good typing and the ability to resist checking and countering. It's not a very easy Pokemon to check or counter. I would say it's definitely easier to check, but it's not very easy to counter a Gengar, and all those aspects mixed together is why I chose to give Gengar an overall grade of an A for its usability. This is the part of the episode that I call Mr. Lala Bubba Suggests. This is where I suggest a set that you could run on the Pokemon featured in the video to possibly be successful in an unorthodox way. This week's feature is, of course, Gengar. I'll start by explaining the moveset that I chose for this Gengar set. I chose to go with Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, Shadow Ball, and Sludge Bomb. Gengar will get stab moves in both Shadow Ball and Sludge Bomb, can cover type weaknesses with Focus Blast, and can also take care of other types using Thunderbolt. When it comes to the EV yield to run on this Gengar, I suggest 252 into Special Attack, 252 into Speed, and then the extra 4 left over going into HP. The nature that I suggest this week is Timid, and that nature will raise Gengar's speed and lower its attack. It does not need that attack stat because it will be used as a special sweeper, and the speed will definitely help it out. The special attack will be boosted in another way, which I'll get to in a second. The ability, of course, will be Levitate, because Gengar is only able to have that one ability. The item I chose to give Gengar is the Wise Glasses. That is going to slightly boost the special type moves that Gengar uses, and that is going to help it in special sweeping by boosting its special moves, of course. Its speed has already been boosted by its timid nature. Both special attack and speed, of course, will be maxed out in EVs, and all of the moves I suggest on this set are all special type moves. The reason this is unorthodox is because you typically do not see 4 attacking moves on a Gengar because of its frailty. You would usually see something like Disable or Substitute, or possibly both, to try to stop Pokemon from completely obliterating Gengar with attacking moves. That will be it for Mr. Lala Bubba Suggests, and that will also be it for this installment of Pokemon Competitive Bios. Please leave a rating and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video, or if you found it helpful, or both. And please feel free to suggest in the comments a Pokemon that you would like to see done in competitive bios. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.